Hey everybody, this is Doomhammer with another 32-team franchise video. This is a second pick'em video. So I know the first one didn't get much attention, but we'll see if these pick up at all. But basically, I'm going to be sharing the matchups coming up in week 4, and feel free to comment or tell us who you think is going to win each matchup. I'm not going to do as much detail as I did before. I'm just going to go to each team here, and you can just take a look at what you think is relevant. But we have the Bills and the Jets, both AFC East matchups. They are 3-0 both. So one of these teams is going to get their first loss or their next win, staying undefeated. So right now we see a lot of advantages going to the Jets. Then we have the 3-0 Bears with Carson Wentz, the rookie, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kirk Cousins. So both teams have a positive record, and we'll see if the Bears can keep up that win streak. Then we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And so you have a 2-1 teams. So that is Flacco versus RG3. Then we got the Lions 1-2 versus the Saints 2-1. So right here we've got interesting matchup there, Gabbert versus Tannehill. They each have some unique weapons there. Very balanced matchup in this game. Then we have the AFC North matchup. The Bengals are 2-1 versus the Ravens 1-2. Geno Smith is in his first year with the Ravens, and seeing how he does since being moved on from with the Saints. And you have Derek Carr trying to lead the Bengals to a lead in the AFC North. Then we got ourselves the Eagles versus the Cardinals. Bridgewater finally got that first win under his belt as an Eagles starting quarterback. And he's taking on Andy Dalton, who threw 5 interceptions last week. So we'll see if the Cardinals are able to bounce back. We'll see this bird fight take place. Let me know who you think is going to win that one. Then we got the Las Vegas Raiders, 0-3, winless, going up against the 2-1 Patriots. Advantage there is to the Patriots. We will see if Brady is able to defeat Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has 3 touchdowns and 10 picks. He leads the league in interceptions this year, but he did lose his number 1 receiver in Julio Jones. Julio Jones went to the Washington Commanders in the offseason, and it looks like Ryan is suffering the consequences of that. Then we got the Texans taking on the Chargers. Chargers searching for their first win. Jared Goff trying to get his first win as a starting quarterback as the number 1 overall pick. Meanwhile, we got Michael Vick, who has not had that great of a year, but he has had, we had Jacoby Brissett came in a little bit last week, and that helped them out a lot. But Texans and Chargers there battling it out. Then we got ourselves the Titans versus the Cowboys. Cowboys stay undefeated, 3-0, and they are taking on Aaron Rodgers, who has breathed new life into the Tennessee Titans. I will say, playing with the Titans, Rodgers is great, but the team is not. The team is still very much a number 1 overall pick type team, but Aaron Rodgers is 96 overall, and talent is definitely elevating them to new heights. We will see if the Titans are able to make the playoffs with Rodgers. If they do need to seriously consider some weapons for him. They do have Jonathan Stewart, but Jonathan Stewart is good, but he's not as explosive as some other running backs. As you can see here, the wide receiver advantage goes to Dallas with Kendall Wright, Larry Fitzgerald, is it Chris? Or no, Marquise Goodwin. Whereas they have Brian Quick. They traded for Devontae Parker. Not the ideal passing core. Then we have Drew Brees taking on Garrett Gilbert. It wasn't Gilbert that torched the Ravens as much as it was Cody Kessler, but Gilbert's still the starting quarterback, so we'll see how he does against Drew Brees and the Colts. Both teams trying to stay away from being 500 and ascend higher in their respective conferences. Then you have the Miami Dolphins 1-2 versus the Chiefs 2-1. There is way too much talent on this Miami Dolphins team to be 1-2. You got Newton, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You got Calvin Johnson Jr., Deshaun Jackson, who's just signed with them this year. AJ Jenkins, who's been a very reliable receiver for them. Tyler Eifert. They did trade for Niall Davis, so they have a decent running back. No reason why they should be 1-2, but here they are. And you have the Chiefs, who are 2-1. We'll see if the Chiefs can do what Denver did and fend off the Dolphins. Then we have a tough division matchup here between the Rams and the Seahawks. You've got Luck and versus Stafford. Again, Seattle has a majorly talented team. Demaryius Thomas, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Pettigrew. You got Marshawn Lynch taking on Luck and the Super Bowl defending champions. Let me know who you think is going to win that one. Then you got the Browns versus the Jaguars. And we have Terrell Pryor, who's actually having a pretty decent passing season for himself. 5 touchdowns to 1 pick. Osweiler there, the quarterback for the Jaguars. we'll see how this game turns out. But yeah, the receiving core for the Jaguars is actually pretty nasty, so that's pretty good. You got Baldwin, Austin, and Slater. With Sims is somebody that was like, he never did anything in real life, but he was like a 69, 68 overall tight end. But since the Jaguars didn't have any talent, he was a starter, and because of that, kept throwing the ball to him, and he became a superstar. Is he a superstar now? Or yeah, okay, star dev. I think he became a superstar. Maybe had a lower season last year, but great tight end for the Jaguars, becoming a reliable target for them. Then you got Green Bay versus Atlanta, 1-2 teams. You got Garoppolo and Phillip Rivers, the old man, 34 years old. They do have Paxton Lynch, who has yet to start yet. I think if Green Bay starts to decline this season, they're not doing well, Paxton Lynch will probably get a start, but they're going with the veteran early this season to let Paxton Lynch develop. Then we got the winless 49ers taking on the Broncos. So Winston had a good rookie year. He is having a really rough start to his sophomore year. We'll see if this 49ers team is able to bounce back at all this year, but they'll have to take on the 1-2 Broncos, who got their first win last week against the Dolphins. And lastly, we have the New York Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Steelers are 1-2, trying to move up in their division, and the New York Giants are 0-3, trying to get their first win of the year. They're working with Mark Sanchez. They, let's see. Okay, they're not showing me just the Giants quarterbacks here. But yeah, there's not many other options for the New York Jets. Right now, the Giants are, any team that has the number 1 overall pick for the 2017 draft class, they're going to be taking Myles Garrett no matter who they are. But the Giants do have a case for going for Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes, or even Deshaun Watson. But yeah, that is the matchup here for Week 4. Let me know who you think is going to win each of these matchups. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want more content. Again, I play every single one of these games, so keeping this series alive with my 15th season of playing the 32-team franchise. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the recap video when these games are complete.